Hey everyone, Kaya here, doing my third or fourth podcast. I have here with me my good friend Anastasia. She has her own Twitch channel and she's really awesome at what she does.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm super excited to be on your podcast. If you guys want to follow me on Twitch, it would be twitch.tv/alt_avenged.
Say that 3 times really fast.
I don't think I could.
Okay, we'll do it while hopping on one foot now.
I would die.
Well, please don't, because we have a whole podcast to do.
I will literally die.
Okay, so you're a new player in Magic. Mm-hmm. You've been playing for a year now, I think?
Yeah, I think I really got into it the last year.
Okay, so as a fresh pair of eyes in EDH specifically, what is your take on Magic?
I think EDH is definitely my favorite format to play. I think that it's just really fun to be able to focus on one card and build a whole deck around it. And it's really challenging but fun at the same time because there's so many cards you can pick from and you want them to work well around this one card. I don't know, it's just really cool.
Yeah, it's a really good concept because you're just this is my commander. There are many others like it, but this one is mine, so fear it. Fear it!
Yes. I also like the fact that you get to play more in a casual setting with more people, rather than playing maybe one-on-one. I just find that really fun that you can play 4 people or pods of 3 or 6, or it doesn't matter how many people you're playing against.
That's true, because that one-on-one kind of gives you that almost an anxiety of you're focused on this one person and this one task of just win, and it's the stakes seem to be kind of higher, at least in my opinion, when I play one-on-one. So it's always a lot funner to be in a more casual setting. There's more people involved, there's a lot of laughs, and those 8-player pods with chaos.
Can't beat them.
Can't beat them. Okay, so, as a new player, what are your most positive and negative experiences that you've had so far?
Okay, so for positive, I would say finding just a really good play group full of people that are just fun to be around. You look forward to coming there every single week and just playing with them, and at a good shop where you know that there's always going to be good people around. I really enjoy just making new friends. I met you at a shop for Duty EDH, so that's always awesome. We've, I think, made a really good friendship, and we met at a store, just kind of
Magic.
Yeah, happened to run into each other,
yeah.
And yeah, liked each other's tattoos, basically.
I know. I gotta say, when I first met you, I walk in and I'm like, oh god, there's another girl. What do I do? Because I get really nervous around other girls sometimes because I'm like, I hope I don't offend them. I don't want to scare them away. I can be a little much. And then you were just sitting there playing, and I remember I was sitting facing away from you at another table, and you just come up to me and go, I just want to say I really like your tattoo. And I'm like, oh my god, can we just be friends forever? Can I just put you in a box and feed you cheese?
Basically, and that's what happened. I now live in Kaya's closet eating cheese out of a box.
That is exactly how that works. And it is a beautiful friendship.
Yes.
Magic brings people together.
Yay.
Okay, so on to my next question, which is, what decks, what are your negative experiences? I forgot.
Yeah.
I jumped the gun, I'm sorry.
So yeah, obviously with the good, there's obviously going to be bad in everything, which, I mean, that's just kind of how the world works. I've had more negative experiences at different shops that I tried to play at before I found the one that I play at now, where just people have come up and touched me without my permission, or just grabbing my cards, things like that as well. I have allergies, and people will eat food and then they'll just touch my cards, and I'm like, well, now I can't touch my own card because you just touched it with your contaminated hands or something.
Yeah.
Or just touching my stuff without permission in general, just why are you doing
that is
this?
a reality for you with the food allergy. People, I never even thought about that.
Yeah, and then Sorry.
Sorry, phone went
Hope you
off.
guys like Fortnite. Also some more things would be, I hate to get into the negatives, but it's, just people, like, guys treating female players a certain way. It does happen. Like, I like to think that it wouldn't happen, but it does. Either they kind of treat you like crap because they think that, like, they know more than you, and they kind of talk down to you, or they are just, like, really competitive against you and like, oh, I can't let a girl beat me or something, you know?
Yeah, there's always that complex dealing with that as a girl. I know that when I played, I don't know if I ever told you, but this one guy tried to convince me that his non-flying, non-reach creatures can block my flying creature.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but, you know, there's always good with the bad in any environment. It could be gaming, it could be magic, it could be Warhammer, it could be anything. There's always good with the bad, but...
Of course. But I'm glad that I was able to find, you know, like a really good group of players that are all about having fun and not taking everything too seriously and are actually, in turn, very supportive. I've had many people in our play group, if I don't understand a card or don't understand maybe like a play or something that's happening, they are more than happy to kind of jump in and just be like, oh, like, this is what's happening, or like, oh, this works, like, in this way, or something, and they're, like, super supportive and helpful instead of being like, oh, why aren't you doing it like this, or no, this is this way, stupid, or...
Oh my goodness. I mean, yeah, I think we're pretty lucky in our play group that people are very patient. I think it's a really good thing. We have a very good play group.
Agreed.
So, what type of decks do you run, and why?
So I have 3 decks that I play with currently. I have a Crush the Bloodbraided. I have a really hard time saying this one. If you can say it, like, I will give you $5 if you can say this correctly. Tromokratis. It is a Angry Sea Creatures deck. He's a Kraken. And then, I have an Edgar Markov deck.
Of course you do.
Of course I have an Edgar Markov deck.
Why wouldn't you?
Death by Vampires.
Oh my goodness. So what's your favorite deck out of the 3 of them?
I like my Angry Sea Creatures deck a lot. It's super cute. It's a themed deck, so everything in the entire deck is related to the sea in some way. Or the ocean, or sea creatures, like anything like that.
That's super cool. I remember playing in a pod with you, and I remember we left you alone because, like, your commander was like, what how much was it to cast? Like 8?
Yeah, he's like 8.
It was pretty funny. So we were like, okay, she's not going to be doing anything for a while. So all of us were just kind of doing our own thing. Some of us were trying to combo off. People were it was like an intense game, if I remember. And then all of a sudden, one person in our pod, it gets to her turn, and she goes, okay, I'm going to cast my commander. We're like, okay. And then it goes around, and then she goes, okay, I'm going to smack you in the face with commander damage, and you're dead. And we're like, wait, what?
Yeah, because with that commander, you cannot block him unless you have all of your creatures are able to block. So if I tap out any of your creatures, or your creatures tapped out, you can't block my commander. It's not happening.
Yeah. So, I was like, I don't know if I ever told you how much I value our friendship. Please don't murder. I think you saved me for last that game.
Probably.
Okay. So, in some of the recent months, we ran a casual EDH league at our play store, our local LGS store. It was a lot of fun. Basically, we played for points. You know, if you won your pod, you would get a point. And then towards the end of, I think it was about 4 weeks, you would tally up the points. And then whoever had the most points, there was like first place, second place, third place, you would get prizes. What was your take on that? How did you like the league?
I thought that was really fun. It was a cool twist on, like, it's competitive in a way because you want to win those prizes, but it's not taken too seriously because it's casual. So I really enjoyed that part.
It was almost like playing in a tournament setting.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's like a little tournament, but you're not flipping the table or getting upset if you lose, because you're still, even if you lose, you're still getting points for certain
even when you
things
lost,
that you do.
Yeah, even when you lost, you still got a point, but if you won, you would get, like, 3 points.
Right. Yeah, I like that.
I liked that. It was a lot of fun. I think we need to get back to doing that again. I really wish I won that league, because I kind of wanted the trophy I made for it. I know I could print my own, but that thing took me, like, 24 hours to print it. I had to put it in pieces. I put my blood, sweat, and tears in it only to, like, give it to somebody else.
It was a pretty cool trophy, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, well, thank you. So, I have some Q&A questions from some people who wanted to ask us questions from my Twitter page, so
yeah, sure.
We'll just jump right into those. So, this first question is, somebody was asking about theme decks. How are they good or bad? For example, they had a tribal deck, but they learned never to go full tribal. What is your take on that?
Well, I have a theme deck, my Sea Creatures deck. I would say it's definitely limited. When you really go hardcore into I want to stick to this theme and I'm not going outside of this theme, it does limit you. But I think that it's fun anyway, because you're like, I want to have this theme and it's going to make me happy to have this theme, and so it's good.
Yeah, I think that theme decks can be really fun. It will lack in some of the cards that you might need. Like, if you need a very specific card to make this deck a little more of like a casual competitive deck, it's like, oh, that breaks the theme, so you don't want to break it. So they will probably in turn be weaker, but it's fun for you. Like, it's a lot more fun. And especially if you're playing in a casual setting like ours, I think they're fine, but you will, going into doing a full theme deck, it is going to be a little bit weaker.
Agreed.
So this next question here is, all right, we're sticking with the themes here. Have we ever built a deck around an anime?
No, but I really want to now.
Yeah, I kind of want to build a deck around, like, My Hero Academia somehow.
That would be so cool.
I know, that anime is so good.
Oh, let's not get into that.
Yeah,
we'll never stop talking.
We could do a whole podcast just on My Hero Academia.
Absolutely.
For those of you who don't know Anastasia, she actually has a My Hero Academia tattoo, and it is super cool.
Thank you. I love it.
But, so yeah, I've never done an anime theme deck personally, but I really want to now, and if I do one, I will definitely post that deck list, and we will battle each other.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that would be so fun. Okay. So the third question I have here is, let me see here. Oh, I see. Somebody, I think this is directed towards me. So they're asking me my favorite Chaos card, and they also added, you realize you're a horrible person, correct? So normally my go-tos with Chaos, as you know, is like Hive Mind and Eye of the Storm, but I think for this podcast, and my personal favorite is Thieves Auction.
Don't get me started on Thieves Auction.
Why? What's wrong with Thieves Auction? I have a lot of fun playing it.
Really, I don't doubt that you have a lot of fun playing with that. I don't.
I like to play it and be like, where's your god now?
Yeah, I do not like the idea of everyone manhandling my cards.
Oh my goodness. I mean, to be fair, it is a frustrating card. I do realize that. Most people scoop because the simple fact that most people don't want you to touch each other's cards. But when you do play it out, it is fun. If you're in a pod with, like, people that you trust, like, when we played in that pod, we were with 2 other people who were, like, trustworthy and we knew weren't going to just grab our cards with their grubby little Cheeto hands.
Oh my goodness.
That's how I picture, like, that scene from Toy Story where he's, like, touching Woody with, like, the Cheeto hands.
Ew.
Yeah, that's what I picture with magic cards, and it makes me so mad.
Please do not eat food and touch other people's cards. PSA.
Yes, please, do not do that, because it is very rude. But yeah, I do like playing Thieves Auction, though, and if people do play it out, I'm just like, you're a good sport.
I only do it for you. I only play it out for you.
I made you do it. I know, if it's anyone else.
Yeah, scooping right immediately.
Oh my goodness. Alright, so I'm actually kind of excited for your answer for this next question. So, who's your commander waifu?
My commander waifu. Oh, goodness. Sliver Queen.
It's the tentacles. Don't lie.
You got me. You got me there. It's the tentacles.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
That is a good one. There's a sick part of me that just wants to be like, oh, Yidris is my waifu. But I think I would stick with Aurelia just because she's badass. I always liked her, and I built a really mean Aurelia deck. I kind of built her to be Voltron. I actually bought all 5 of the swords and put them in there. It was quite an investment.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't regret it. I really don't, but I did end up taking her apart and doing a mono black Infects Githrix deck, which I've talked about previously, so everybody knows about that deck.
They know.
Oh, they know. They know the business. They know what goes down. But yeah. I would have to probably stick with Aurelia for mine. But Sliver Queens is definitely...
Sliver Queen is sexy, okay.
Yeah, she is. She kind of reminds me of Tyranids from Warhammer.
Yeah, a lot.
Like a female, like almost like they call their like hive master queen person. They call her the Norn-Queen. That's like who she reminds me of. So like she's like close to my heart.
Oh,
but
well, she's my waifu, so get your own.
Oh, really? I will fight you. All right, we're going to have to play a Magic game. We'll be right back, guys. I'm just kidding. All right, so before I conclude this podcast, I actually wanted to talk a little bit about Twitch because I had personally thought about doing it. I thought about actually running Kingdom Hearts 3, but I didn't want to do that to my fans because they'll probably just watch me cry for 16 hours straight because I've been waiting 11 or 12 years for that game. So literally I'll just be sobbing and playing and I'll even try to put makeup on it. It's just not going to work, but I thought about doing it. So what is the good, the bad, the ugly that goes with being on Twitch?
Well, first of all, everyone would love to watch you cry while playing Kingdom Hearts. I'm going to tell you that right now. You will get lots of views.
I don't know if that's the kind of views I want.
Come watch me cry. That's what you could, label your video.
I think people would have to give me a pass on that, because, if you go on my Instagram or my Facebook, it's just Kingdom Hearts cosplay all over the place.
True. You could wear your cosplay while crying while playing Kingdom Hearts. People would die.
Why didn't that thought ever cross my mind? Probably because I didn't want to be uncomfortable in my Kyrie wig, but oh my god, I should do that. All right, well, thank you for the idea.
No problem. They will cry with you. People will cry with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the good about Twitch is that it's pretty much the most supportive community out there, I think. I don't know. And as far as, you go into gaming thinking there's people out there, trolling. There's people out there in your inbox calling you trash and talking about your mom and all these horrible things. But when you go onto Twitch as a platform, everyone there is just so supportive. Other channels will come check out your channel. They come in, they hype you up, they give you shout outs. Everyone's just really, really kind there. I love the community. I was really nervous when I first started streaming, and I think it's honestly brought me out of my shell a lot.
Wow.
Just knowing how supportive everyone is, I know you've seen some of my early streams where I'm just sitting there super nervous.
You're I don't have a voice. I'm not here, but I'm also playing this game.
Yeah, basically, and now I'm just wild and hype on there all the time. And making jokes and laughing. And I've actually made a couple friends on there who I play with, game with all the time now, people that I never even knew. Yeah. They'll stream at the same time, and we'll stream together and play the same game and stuff.
That's so
it's really
cool.
Yeah, but of course, with anything good, there's bad. Yeah.
So what's your experience?
Lots of inappropriate.
Your face says it all.
Inappropriate messages. Sometimes, especially on social media. Where they ask for disgusting things. Me to send nasty things to them, which will never happen. I'm not that type of person. But yeah, or certain people kind of act like you kind of owe them something. You're entertaining them, and you're talking to them, and you're, getting to know people, and they're getting to know you, in a way. And so they think that they really know you, and then they'll start blowing you up if you're, like, not answering them, and they'll, like, start, like, freaking out on you. Like, I've had problems where people blow me up on Instagram if I, like, don't message them back within, like, an hour or something. Wow. And then they'll, like, be hitting me up on Xbox just because I didn't answer them on Instagram, and I've had to, like, block a few people because it's like, I'm a human being.
Yeah, you have a life.
Yeah, and I have other things going on, and, you know, I can't just be answering you constantly. Like, I love to talk to my followers, like, I love it, and I love to get to know them, but I can't be, like, constantly on, and some people don't understand that, and they push boundaries, basically.
I mean, yeah, it does get to a point. It's funny you mentioned that because I was listening to a podcast the other day regarding that. It was from two really big, famous YouTubers, and they pretty much said they get a lot of messages, and there's a lot of fans that they will feel entitled to your friendship. They'll feel like they've gotten to know you. They know everything about you. They know, like, what games you like and this and that, the other thing, and they'll think, oh, just because I know all of this and I'm, like, your biggest fan, that you can just be besties. And it's just not like that. It's really hard. And they don't realize that there is a boundary because you don't know them personally. They might know you on a personal level that they think they know you on, but it's hard to, you know, sometimes it's hard for people to separate fantasy and reality.
Right, exactly. It's just, sometimes people are just a little much. But like I said, like, I love meeting new people through this platform and making friends and playing games with people and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just sometimes people just take it a little bit too far, sadly.
So what are your favorite games on there?
Currently I've been streaming a lot of Fortnite, Dead by Daylight, Halo 3 I play a lot of, which seems to be, my most popular streams seem to be Halo 3, which is, I think, because of the nostalgia, yeah. And then, Fortnite, because it's such a big, huge, it's blown up, it's so big.
I remember you were apprehensive at first about Fortnite. What made you want to start playing it?
Just knowing that a lot of my followers enjoy watching Fortnite streams, I was like, alright, I'm gonna give this game a try. If I like it, then cool. If I hate it, then I'm never gonna play it again, and I'll just stick to all the games I've been playing, but now I'm addicted to Fortnite.
Oh my goodness. Well, it looks silly and fun. I've never personally played myself, but that looks like something I would enjoy playing.
I like it a lot because you cannot take yourself seriously on Fortnite. Like, it's just so funny and fun to play, and, like, it's just so ridiculous, that it doesn't matter if you win or lose, like, you're always having a good time. Like, there's a lot of laughs. That's
good. That's always fun. Like, when it's like, when you take the stakes out of wanting to win, and then it just becomes fun. And it doesn't matter if you lose because you had fun. I mean, that's the whole point of any game, really. Right. But that's really cool. So it's not, like, too hyper-competitive then. So do you play horror-based games?
Yeah, Dead by Daylight, I've been playing a good amount recently. I just picked it up, because it was on sale. So, yeah, it was on sale for, like, $12.
What is it about?
So basically you can be a survivor or a killer, and there's a bunch of different killers and a bunch of different survivors, and they drop 4 survivors and 1 killer into a map, and it's locked down, and you have to fix generators in order to open the gate to escape. But while you're doing that, the killer is trying to kill you, basically.
Yeah, of course.
So you have to, like, sneak everywhere and try to fix the generators, like, really fast. And, like, there's checks, so, like, if you mess up, it blows up the generator, and then the killer knows where you are.
Oh my
and you
God.
have to run. And, like, yeah. But it's really intense because you hear your heartbeat starts getting faster when the killer's near you, and then, like, music starts, and then there's so many jump scares.
So
it's really
can you
entertaining.
choose to play killer or survivor? Who do you normally choose?
Survivor, because I'm really terrible at being a killer.
Are you just like, I'm just too nice to kill you?
Basically. There's a lot of strategy that goes into it, and each character has, like, their own set of abilities. So you, whether it's killer or survivor, so you have to kind of know, like, how to play each character and, like, really work at getting better at, like, each character.
That's interesting. You sound like, it sounds like being a survivor might be a little bit easier than being, or I mean, sorry, not easier, a lot harder to be, like, it's more like a strategy because you're trying to hide from the killer, and then it sounds like the killer just has to follow the sounds, essentially.
Yeah, a little bit, but as a survivor, you have a really big field of vision, and you have, like, those cues of, like, the heartbeat and stuff like that, but as a killer, you are only seeing very small range.
Yeah.
And then you're going off of maybe hearing somebody make a sound or rustle through grass, or you might see, if you already hit them, like, they make a trail of blood leading to them and stuff.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I think both are really difficult in their own ways.
That's pretty cool. So I have to ask, have you thought about playing Outlast on your podcast or on your Twitch?
I'm nervous about that one because it looks really scary.
It is. That game is so intense. I remember playing it, and I remember thinking, like, I don't get scared that easily. I'm a big, like, horror movie person. You know, we went to Spooky Empire together, which is, like, really fun.
Yes.
But when I played, it was kind of like, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go into this mansion house thing with my camera and take some pictures and prove to the world that this is, like, a terrible place. And then I break into a window and I go in and the lights are off and I'm not even, like, 5 minutes into the game and I'm just like, how do I look around? It's dark. Oh, okay. So I look through the camera in the night vision and I'm just like, okay, so this is how I can see. Terrifying green night vision. And then all of a sudden, I'm just, like, wandering around in the dark, and then I see these horrific creatures, and I'm like, oh god! And then my battery dies, and I'm just wandering in the dark for an hour until either I find a battery, which it's like finding a needle in a haystack, or something murders you and you have to start over. It's actually really intense. It's something that, it has a lot of jump scares. It's a terrifying game, but it's a challenge. Like, if you want something that's challenging, that's scary, I think people would find it entertaining watching you try to figure it out, because there's this underlying factor with it that it's almost like a puzzle-based game, in my opinion, because you're trying to figure out how to get to the next area, and it's really hard. Yeah.
That sounds horrifying.
It is horrifying. Believe me, it's horrifying.
I'm scared hearing about it. Like, I'm not ready.
What helps me is watching YouTube videos about it, and then I'll be like, okay, that's pretty cool, and then I kind of know what's going on, and I mean, I guess that's kind of cheating because I'm watching YouTube videos, but it helps me with the anxiety of it, and then I'll start trying to do my own thing with it, but it's pretty fun.
I will definitely have to try that out.
I would love to watch you.
I saw that there's 2, I think, now. I think there's Outlast 1 and 2, and maybe a third. I don't think they made a third one.
I remember.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. I remember there was a patch about the Butcher. It was a really cool storyline about this guy who, like, he kept trying to give you, like, a sex change by, like, cutting you or something. But it was weird. He was like, he kept calling you, like, his darling, and, like, the whole thing was, like, you had to kill him in order to get out of there.
Wow.
But it was really terrifying. It was just this, like, handsome-looking guy with, like, blood all over him.
Oh, goodness. Those are the worst.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, I know. It's like Dexter.
So adorable, yet so murderous.
So murderous. Well, so I guess that concludes the podcast. I would love to hear everybody's thoughts on it. If you have any experiences, please share it with us. If you want to hear more from us, please comment everything you want to talk about below, and we'll definitely try to get around to answering questions and talking to everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed this podcast. Anastasia's, like, the best human being in the world, and I love her to death. Well, good night, guys, and thanks so much for listening.
Thank you so much for having me on here.
Of course.